What's happening, everybody? Rod J back again to take a look at another beer. Thanks for swinging by to check out another video. So tonight I'm taking a look at one that is from one of our local breweries here in Cincinnati. This is from Rhinegeist. This is their Cougar, which is their blonde ale. This one actually comes in at 4.8% ABV, 20 IBU. Now, if you're not familiar with the style of the blonde ale, it's probably one of the easiest ones that you can transition into craft beer from if you were basically a lager drinker. Very smooth, very subdued type style. On the back of the can, they put a little bit of information there if you wanted to kind of pause so you can read that stuff, or you can check it out on the website. But it is a pretty much smooth transition type style, usually a little bit more malted out than anything. Obviously with the 20 IBU, you're not going to get hit with a lot of bitterness. Let's go ahead and get this one open and get it into a glass and see what it has to offer. So Rhinegeist, I would say, is actually kind of one of our more premier local brewers. A couple years ago, they did a poll in the USA Today, and they were actually chosen as, I think, the second upstart in the country. But we get it into the glass. Got a nice golden straw color there, as you can see. Actually has a good amount of clarity. You can pretty much see me right here through to the other side. Lots of carbonation action. You got a nice little streaming amount of bubbles. Headed up to a head that sits pretty decent as a white head. It is breaking down rather easily, but it's doing so with a nice rockiness being left behind. You're getting a nice little bit of aroma. You're getting a little bit of that malt forwardness, but on the back end, you are picking up a little bit of kind of a piney type aroma. But you're definitely getting some of the sweetness here from the malt. And if somebody was more accustomed to drinking one of your adjunct lagers, I think they will find some similarities in picking up something like this as a blonde ale, with it being a little bit more malt forward along those lines. Obviously, you're not getting the things like corn or rice, but you do have that sweetness there that really compares nicely. Going to get the taste. Get the maltiness coming through. Not really getting as much of the bitterness as I mentioned. Nice sweetness to it, almost like a little bit of a caramelization type flavor or so in there. Has a nice crisp backing on it. The finish very smooth, goes down rather easily. Not feeling anything on the tongue being over carbonated or in the chest. Palatable, very nicely done. You could easily go through these on a nice warm day. Very easy to actually sit here and probably drink and chug one of these because it does have that nice smoothness to it. Still get a nice sting to the tip of the tongue. Leaves a nice little after effect from the flavor, leaving those malts around a little bit, so you're getting a little bit, again, of that kind of sweetness there. Carbonation, not overly carbonated in any way. And the feel of that finish is very nice. I do feel a little bit in the chest right now. Not too much so that, you know, the carbonation is actually bothering me, but you do feel a little bit of that bubble action there. So it is a little bit lively, but not overly lively at all. Aroma is sticking around nicely as I'm going down the glass. You do get some of that lacing on the glass as well, which is pretty nice. So for me, the blonde ales aren't usually the ones I prefer, just because they do remind me somewhat of the adjunct lager type style. But again, it's a nice, decent style, nice lawnmower type beer style. If you wanted to drink one of these after a hard day work, or you're doing stuff in the yard or whatever it may be, these can go down rather easily. And Rhinegeist does a pretty good job with this one. You can check the description to see what I rate this one and score it all out based on the scoring system I've been using. But definitely want to say, if you're looking for something to transition, go ahead, check it out. If you get Rhinegeist in your area and you are more of that adjunct lager type drinker, this is definitely one you might want to pick up in that line if you want to start making that switch over to craft type beer. And of course, they are local and independent, which is always nice. That's why I always enjoy supporting them. But again, this is the Rhinegeist Cougar. Decent enough blonde ale that I think if you're into that style, you'll be happy. But thanks again for swinging by to check out another video. I look forward to catching you guys next time. As always, keep drinking those good craft beers. And remember, there's always time. Get your beer on. Cheers.